If you say to yourself, well, I just have to stay back. I have to stay back and work till 7 p.m. to be able to keep this job. No, as an employer, what's happening is that you trained us to think that you'd be okay with it. So we now expect you to do it. But if you show up like 9 to 5 and you're giving me your 100% and you're efficient and effective as shit, you think I'm gonna be like calling you back, hey, come back to work until 7 p.m.? Welcome back to my channel. So I have one major update for you before we get started, and it's this. I'm gonna go get my lashes and my nails done. So no, and I better not see any comment about how my nail look like this, okay? Step one. Step two is I've decided to make this channel or continue making this channel like a personal finance, growth hacks and tricks and tips channel. But in terms of my little chit chats and my story times, like I have so many story times. In terms of that, I've decided to start a new channel where I can just unwind and I don't have to be sensible. So subscribe now.
I forgot to tell you guys that I already uploaded the first video. The thumbnail is on your screen, but I'm not drop it until I get 700 subscribers. Yay! Guys, please subscribe so that I can drop this video.
Please subscribe now, please. On that new channel, I'm gonna just, unwind and talk with you guys and let you guys know things that I've learned, let you guys know my experiences and why you should avoid this or why you should look to this. Just non-financial stuff, but still helpful. I'm gonna do it on that channel. My story times about my dating life, which I do have a private Instagram page for this where I just go live and talk about my dating stories and stuff. I haven't been dating for a while, so I don't really have any new stories as at last couple of months, but I have a lot of stories. So if you want to hear all of those, sign up to my new channel, subscribe to my new channel. That out of the way. The second thing is I am so grateful to you guys. Like, I saw people telling me that they pressed the notification bell for this channel just because I asked, and I'm like, oh my god, you guys spoil me, okay? So anyway, I appreciate it. If you have not pressed the notification bell, press it please. Having said that, let's get into the meat of the matter for today. Lately, I've just been getting up and choosing violence. I don't know what's been going on. I've just been like, well, I'm gonna talk the things down. I wake up and I start writing in my notes app and I just screenshot it and post it on my Instagram. Anyway, I did one of that. And I've been asked to do an in-depth explanation of the points that I mentioned. And the topic is this. Hang on, I even forgot the topic. Things to do after landing a job after being unemployed. Now, I'm gonna go into that today. If you are in the place where you just landed a new job, you've been unemployed for a while, or you've been just unemployed full stop, meaning you're just getting out of school, you just landed your first job, or you've been in the workforce but you've lost your job and now you're back in a new job. These are some things that you need to be looking out for because the name of the game is practicality. Okay? Practicality. Most workplaces are not going to tell you this because it's not in their best interest to tell you these things. But remember when I said I woke up and I chose violence? This is me. Oh my god, I'm such a cute, violent person. Don't you think? I'm not really violent. I can't even fight. But we're not going to talk about that. Anyway, the first point is, okay, before I go into the first point, I need to give you a backstory as to why this is my first point. The banking system in Jamaica, the financial system in Jamaica, is literally a slave to pay slips. If you want to borrow $500 billion, trillion, $1 million and your pay slip can back it, they'll just, oh yeah, 3 to 5 business days, bam, approval, done. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy, submit 3 pay slips and you're good to go. But if you are a business owner, honey, they need your lung, your kidney, what else they need? Your arm, your leg, your firstborn child. It's almost as if society is trying to deter you from being a business owner, which makes absolutely no sense to me, but it does make sense in the context of how society works, right? This is something I will tell you guys. They're always in societies like these, meaning they're not, what's the name of the society where everybody's equal? It's not a socialist state. This is a capitalist state, right? Which most countries in the world are capitalist. So what happens is you're going to have classes, okay? But they don't want to talk about that. You have to have classes for the society to work. You have to have the 1%. because the 1% is gonna hire the different classes. So, but that's not a conversation we're gonna go into on this channel. We'll pick it up on my new channel because I have thoughts, okay? But having said that, once you have 3 pay slips, it's almost as if you can get whatever you want in this world, right? So here's what you do. When you land your job, a new job, right after you've been unemployed, just try to get to 3 pay slips. I'm not saying to go leave your job or nothing, but be hyper aware when you've gotten the 3rd pay slip. And then you go to all the banks in the world, in the society. Y'all know what I mean. Just go to the banks and you open your bank accounts and stuff. You know why? As I said, with these 3 pay slips, your proof of address, you can open a bank account like bam, bam, thank you, ma'am, or wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, or however the saying goes. And guess what? When you leave this job, if or when you leave this job, or if you get fired, they're not going to close the bank accounts now because you've lost your job. These accounts remain open. But if you wait until you need to be a business owner to open this account, you need all sorts of things to be able to get this done if it is a business that's been operating, right? And that's too much headache. So as soon as you get your pay slips, your 3 pay slips, go open the bank accounts, whichever bank account ever they don't want, I'm going to open it now, right? Next thing, if leaning on the same topic of salary slips, if you've been eyeing real estate, you want to take out a mortgage, you want to buy real estate using the traditional method, which is through mortgage. If you were preparing yourself from before for this, you've been saving the deposit and the closing costs, and now you're qualified otherwise, right? The only thing you were missing was you didn't have a pay slips, or maybe you had a business / have a business and you would have had to provide also everything to be able to get approved. In fact, you don't even get approved for everything as a business owner. Yeah, but that's a whole other video. Then in this case, when you land this new job, you get your 3 pay slips and you go. By the way, this is contingent on whether you had a probationary period. If you had a probationary period, then they're gonna need more months worth of pay slips. But the point is, pay slips just make everything easy peasy, 1, 2, 3 lemon squeezing all this. It's not gonna solve all the problems in the world, but it makes your life so much easier. Investment accounts, bank accounts, mortgages, car loans, whatever. It's just so much easier, all right? That's the first point. The second point, I'm just going a bit because I forgot what I told you. I just wake up and post. Next thing, this is such a good point. You need to still, even after you land this job, after not being in a job for so long, you need to still operate in the mindset that you don't have a job. And what that means is you need to be looking to see what business you can start, what side hustle you can build. You need to operate like you don't have this job right now and you need money to come in to be able to pay your bills and survive and all this. Approach it the same way, right? Because the longer you take to do this, the more comfortable you get in this job, and the more dependent, the more reliant you are on this income that is coming in, which is your paycheck. And guess what? That is what they want. They want you to be reliant on the paycheck, because you're not gonna go nowhere. How are you gonna go somewhere and you don't got no money, right? But if you have a business on the side and stuff, and it's actually making money, it's growing, then you're not going to be as scared and you're not going to be as dependent. That does even more than just common sense things. It also works psychologically. I'll tell you, I don't know what this is called. I don't even know if it has a name, but from my personal experience, when I know I have backup things, it's like I'm not afraid to take risks in my businesses, and more times than not the risks pay off, right? But if I didn't have this backup, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't risk this, like, no, this is my only thing, I can't risk it, and the growth rate, it's not as great as it could have been. So if I were you, you go to this job, you're still getting paid, obviously, but just have the mindset of you still need money ASAP. It's like it's lighting a fire under your ass, and that is what you want, right? Just trust me on this. Trust me. Don't get reliant. Don't get dependent. The longer you wait to start this part about the side hustle part, the longer you wait, the harder it is for you to shake yourself out of your comfort zone. You're gonna be like, oh, I just came from work. I'm so tired. Let me have dinner, shower, watch Netflix, and then you knock out. you wake up next morning, time to go back to the same work, and it's just, you're gonna find yourself in a cycle. That's how you wake up 10 years later and you're like, holy hell, how am I still here? You've just gotten complacent, you've just gotten really comfortable, you got addicted to this salary, okay? So just operate in a mindset like you don't have this job. That's the second point. The third point is, so when you get this job, you need to go talk to the accounting department or the HR department, whatever department you guys have at your company, and you need to find out what their pension contribution system is like. So there's a thing called matching. Basically, what happens is, if you contribute 10% of your income to your pension, if the company has a matching system, what will happen is that they will also put 10% towards your pension. It is literally free money. I'm not exaggerating. It is free money. So if you put 10%, let's say 10% comes up to 30 grand, they'll put 30 grand more just because it is free money. You can't afford to pass this up. But bear in mind that the max you can put to a pension is 20%, right? Even though you are not contributing the full 20%, it can't exceed 20% of your salary. So if you put 10, you can't put 15 and expect them to put 15, right? In a matching system, because that would be 30% and the max you can go is 20%. So if you do 5, this is what happens a lot of the time. You take the base, the bare minimum, which is like, let's say you do 5%. You're like, I don't believe in this pension thing, let me just do 5%. But they're matching, so all you'd have gotten is another 5%. Whereas if you had done 10%, which is double what you would have wanted to begin with, that you would have gotten 10% free money from these people, okay? All right, we have to learn the rules of the system so we can play the game. They can't be the only ones who know the rules. We have to know the rules too so we can play the game. That's however number point I'm at. The next point is, oh my goodness, so here's the thing. When you were unemployed, you had certain expenses naturally because you had to pay for food. You still had to pay for food even though you're unemployed. You still had to probably pay for accommodations. And maybe you live with your parents, maybe you live with a friend, maybe you live with family. But like, if you don't have all these and you still had to be paying for accommodation, utility bills, food, what I would say to you is when you get this new job, obviously you're getting 100% more than what you had before, right? Because you had zero before, you were earning zero before per month. Now you're earning $200,000 per month. So if your expenses always came up to 100,000, try to keep your expenses at that same 100,000. Don't try to increase the cost of your lifestyle just because you're now earning some money, okay? Try to keep it at 100,000 and then you go invest the next 100,000. How you invest it? You can invest in all sorts of different things. It doesn't have to be stocks. You can invest it in your business, right? Bottom line is, try to pretend that that next 100,000 is not there and it only exists in the context of building your portfolio. Try to do that. I think I'm gonna do a whole other video on this on my chit chat channel, my new channel, because that's a big problem that I see in Jamaica. We feel like the more money we earn, the more expenses we need to take on. For example, you get a promotion at work and all of a sudden, because you now are the general manager, a general manager cannot drive a Toyota Corolla. I don't know cars, guys. Just pretend. I think there's a Toyota Corolla. But a general manager can't drive a Toyota Corolla. No, a general manager has to drive an X6. And guess what? You would qualify for the loan because banks don't care if you get enough money to survive after, or if you get enough money to build your portfolio. Banks don't care, okay? They just care that you can pay their loan per month, and they put a salary deduction on that shit. They're not waiting for you to pay over nothing. They take it out before you even see it. So here you are rolling in your X6 just because you're a general manager, but you don't got no emergency fund. You don't got no savings. In case something happens, you don't got nothing, right? And it's just not the way to go. If you want to grow fast, the more money you start bringing in, try to keep your expenses fixed. My expenses were fixed for years. When I tell you years, probably 6-7 years, I had the same expenses. I mean, more or less. For example, groceries went up because I have no control over that, inflation and shit. But like, I'm not running out there trying to take on all these loans and all these expenses just because my salary is going up. So try to bear that in mind, okay? That's like a cheat code. Aside from the fact that you need to look at, you need to approach marriage like it also is a business decision, but we ain't ready to talk about that. We'll talk about it on my new channel. We're keeping this finance focused and not controversial. Okay, next point, you need to open an account. So let's say you are building your emergency fund, you're just starting to build your emergency fund because you just landed this job, or you depleted your emergency fund because you were unemployed and now you need to rebuild it. What you need to do is you need to stop trusting yourself. Not 100%. Obviously, you should trust your skills and trust that you're gonna more than make it. But in terms of putting money where it needs to go, just don't trust yourself with that. Don't rely on your memory to do this. What you do is go to your boss, tell your boss, hey, I would like $50,000, $25,000 to come from my paycheck and be sent to this account directly. You can send the balance of my paycheck to this next account. So what would happen? This account over here would have been your emergency fund. So you're going to be building your emergency fund. You're not even noticing, because what happens a lot of times is when money starts going to your emergency fund or whichever account, a loan, whatever it is, whatever else, the money that comes to you, you get used to it. You adjust. You mentally adjust. You financially adjust. You get used to it. After a while, you're going to forget that your actual paycheck is $25,000 more than what you've been receiving. So what happens is you learn how to live on whatever has been coming to your account. Well, what's more is that you're achieving your emergency fund target and you don't even notice, right? It's like, I'm a big psychology buff. Y'all know, I don't know if you guys know this, but I know my Instagram knows this. I know you, my YouTube family, you know this. I'm obsessed with psychology. If you've ever seen my reading list, Wolipa brain book, right? Well, anyway, let's go on to the next point. This point is the best point to close out this video on. Listen, when you land this new job, you are going to be tempted to burn out yourself. You're going to be tempted to ackle up your body, as Jamaicans love to say. You're going to be so tempted to put out 150% at this new job because you want to prove yourself, right? And I'm here to tell you, as somebody who I used to think like this, I used to do this. I'm telling you this from the perspective of one, an employer, two, a coach of people who want to improve their portfolio and improve their finances. So I'm telling you from both perspectives right now. Listen to me when I tell you, 9 to 5, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. belongs to your boss. 5 p.m. to 9 a.m. belongs to your future. That's something you have to always be aware of. And no matter how you spin it, it's going to remain true. If you say to yourself, well, I just have to stay back. I have to stay back and work till 7 p.m. to be able to keep this job. No, as an employer, what's happening is that you trained us to think that you'd be okay with it. So we now expect you to do it. But if you show up like this, these are my hours, 9 to 5, probably 9 to 6, right? If you're done at 5 and you have to give like an extra 30 minutes or so, fine. But if you show up like that and you give your 100%, because that's another thing, don't come to the people and work and half-ass it. Again, talking like an employer, don't go to the people and work on half-ass it. That's how you get fired. If you show up 9 to 5 and you're giving me your 100% and you're efficient and effective as shit, you think I'm gonna be like calling you back, hey, come back to work until 7 p.m.? No, because guess what? Now, and this is another video which I'm gonna make because it's a whole thing. Now, as a business owner, I'm thinking, I can't risk this effective employee because guess what? The cost to acquire a new employee outweighs the cost of you going home at 5 p.m. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't know about every employer, but I know about myself and my friends who are employers that we're bottom line people, numbers people. Like, I'm not gonna go come argue with you because you tell me that you need Wednesday off. I don't even want to know why you need Wednesday off because you're such a great team member. I don't care why you need Wednesday off. Do what you need to do. And it's because when you do come to work, you're effective as shit. Everything is being done as it should. I don't have a problem with you setting your boundaries. But when you show up from jump, like working Sunday to Sunday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., when you stop, when you pull back, that is when we notice, and that's when we start, you're losing focus. Maybe I need to start thinking about replacing you. Now, why am I saying this? Aside from everything that I just said, 5 to 9 belongs to your future. You need to invest in either, maybe you do a second like a remote job, which by the way is 2024. For you to tell me that it is impossible to have 2 jobs, I'm telling you as somebody, if you follow me on Instagram, you know how I have a shit ton of things doing, right? I'm telling you that it's 2024. You can have a 9 to 5 job, and you can also have a remote job that is paid based on hours. And they don't care if you're doing it from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. They don't care if you're doing it Saturday and Sunday. It's just based on hours. Like you need to do 10 hours a week, that kind of a thing. Or you need to do 1 hour a week from this time to this time. It is like the world is so flexible these days. But if you are not a business person, then that's what you need to be looking at. If you are a business person, that 5 p.m. to 9 a.m., you need to be spending looking at what business can I start? Where is there a need? Where is there a problem that needs to be solved? You need to be focusing on that, and you need to be using that 5 to 9 to grind it out. That's what you need to do. When you show, and I mean, obviously, for the bright sparks who are going to talk about, this girl not practical. What do you mean I'm supposed to work on my business from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.? When do I sleep? I'm not even gonna go into this with you. I'm talking to my YouTube family, my actual YouTube family members who actually, because I know my YouTube people are sensible. So you understand what I'm saying when I say 5 to 9, right? Obviously you leave work, obviously there's commute, obviously you're gonna get home and eat, obviously you're gonna shower, obviously you're gonna spend time with your family, but you need to also find time for your business. That's what I mean, right? So those are the tips that I have for you. If you want more, I mean, what I'm gonna just do is start looking on my Instagram and building out those, talking out those points, because I guess my people want to hear about them. So let me know if you enjoyed this video. What else do I have to tell you? Yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my next channel, okay? Because I'm gonna go do a video right now. I have a topic that I want to talk about that it's not really it's not gonna be anything you need to grind. It's not gonna be this, consider this your you need to grind video for the day. This is just an online video that I want to tell a story about something that I went through when I was younger. I'm gonna do that right now. So you should subscribe to my channel, okay? Have a good day. Today's Sunday, and as you can see, there's no sunlight on my stove. Some days I just wish I were, like a real adult. Because me right now, I'd probably go drink a protein shake for dinner. Anyway. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like it right now. Like it right now. I said like it. It's right there. Like it right now. Subscribe. Why are you watching me and not subscribing to me? You know we got a thing. We have a thing right now. You watched it to the end. We have a thing. We locked in. So you better subscribe. And while you're at it, press the bell, okay? All right. Oh, and last thing. For me to know that you watched the video to the end, here's what I want you to say. I have to take control. Say that. I have to take control. Say that. And if you don't understand why I'm saying I have to take control, you need to go watch my video that I posted, I think 2 days ago or so, when I tell you that you have more control than you think you have. So pair that video with this video and say to yourself, I need to take control. Bye.